Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome. Welcome to a new era. Welcome to Tuck Rule Takes episode 164. As I just mentioned, this is the new era episode of Tuck Rule Takes. The gang is all here, recording a little bit earlier this week. I don't know. We said we'd only do this if some news came across, and I think some big news happened because the Patriots are done playing football this season. The playoff games have sucked so far, so there really is nothing else to talk about other than one thing, guys. Al, Liam, the Patriots found a new head coach. If there was an applause button, it would be right here. We'll all just clap like that. Mike Vrabel, to the surprise of probably nobody, signed what's called a multi-year deal. We don't know how long. We don't know any specifics yet, as far as I know. But yeah, just overall thoughts, opening statements from you guys. I'm happy. I'm happy Mike Vrabel's here. How you guys feeling about it? Let's set the stage, and then we'll discuss some of the intricacies of it all.
Al, set me up.
All right. So the hiring of Mike Vrabel, like Mike said, it was expected. Everybody saw it coming. It was a no-duh situation. The fact that Mike Vrabel's here shows that Robert Kraft and the Patriots organization are actually serious about getting back on track. You brought in a proven head coach. You brought in a guy that's been there before. You have a guy that had, I think, 6 different quarterbacks in his 6 years as Tennessee Titans head coach.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was. And it also brought he brought the Titans to the AFC Championship. Probably could have brought them to the Super Bowl if they just had one more good quarter against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs back in 2019. But also 2021 AP Coach of the Year, just to throw that sprinkle in there.
Yeah.
But I know, like, for me, I would have liked Ben Johnson, and that's okay. Like, Vrabel or Johnson, either one would have been fine. But Mike Vrabel's going to come in here. He's going to be a culture changer. He's going to hold people accountable, and he is going to be the hard ass in the room, which is what this Patriots team needs. Especially, people forget this is a young Patriots team. They're a younger team now than they were back then. Yeah, they have some veterans, but their young stars are young first, second, third year players, etc. So good for them. And for the people that are giving like the crying spiel about the Rooney Rule, like get over
I
it.
wanted to touch on that too. Yep.
They knew what they had to do. They knew exactly what boxes need to be checked off. They did that. They wanted Mike Vrabel. That's fine. They put 4 interviews out there: Byron Leftwich, Pep Hamilton, Ben Johnson, and Mike Vrabel. They did their 4 interviews. They said, Mike's our guy. Let's go get our guy before he goes off to the Jets or Bears, which, by the way, guys, they made a late push for Mike Vrabel. So I'm glad that the Patriots got it done. So good job, Robert Kraft. Step 1, check. Now it's time to focus on the offseason with free agency and such.
Yeah. No, I same thing. Liam, how you feeling, buddy?
I'm fired up. I'm psyched.
Right.
Mostly because I'm biased, though. Like, I love Mike Vrabel as a person. Like, he's the kind of guy, like, I grew up hanging out with. He just seems like the fucking man. Like, somebody I'd want to go to a party with, and he'd crush a 30-pack, and he'd be, he'd be your partner in crime as you go out and steal some horses. He just seems like a cool dude, but he holds people accountable. Like Al said, he's the hard ass. He's not buddy with the players. He was a player. He expects the best players on the team to work hard. He's got a little bit of Belichick, but a wildly different personality. He's going to make fun of everyone. He's going to talk a lot of shit. He's going to hold people accountable. And also, and Al will appreciate this, the icing on the cake here of already really cool dude being our head coach. He packs fat lips, like gigantic. He will empty the can into his lip. And I think that's a sign of a driven, heroic leader. I'm all in.
Yeah. I think the vast majority of people, are happy with this. Al, like you said, there was the Ben Johnson thing, which I want to get into that too, because people were saying, they wanted Ben Johnson, all these reasons, offensive head coach, whatever. But you mentioned one thing that I just want to kind of talk about, get out of the way, because you don't have to spend a ton of time on it. The Rooney Rule. So the Rooney Rule is when you are hiring a head coach or any other coordinator position, you need to interview 2 minorities. That's ultimately what it comes down to. And they also need to be in-person interviews. That's a
Right.
very
That's the
some
big
verbiage
detail.
that people aren't talking about, because the Patriots did also put in a request for Aaron Glenn, the Lions defensive coordinator. He turned them down, but he also had like what 5 or 6 other interviews from Friday to Saturday, if I remember
He
correctly.
had every other team lined up and interviewed. And just real quick, he knew it was going to be a sham. He knew that he wasn't a serious candidate for that position. So you know what? Good for Aaron Glenn for realizing, okay, I got better opportunities elsewhere.
Yeah, no,
good
for him. And you know what? Honestly, like the Patriots did do what the Rooney Rule said. Now, because they wanted to do the search quick, because Vrabel was a hot commodity, there were teams that were going to want him. So you want to get that tightened up real quick. Then so also you can start to build out the rest of your staff. But I saw a lot of people. In fact, I got probably the most angry I've ever gotten on Twitter when the Patriots had those other when they had Pep Hamilton and Byron Leftwich come in, to the point where, guys, this is where you know you've been on Twitter too long. I took the time to find out where, because a lot of these people, they don't have their real names or their real pictures or whatever on Twitter. I took the time to find out where some of these people are and what their actual names are. That's when I knew, okay,
Christ.
you know what, guys, time to go make dinner. I'm gonna shut the laptop screen real quick, because I was
online there. That's tough.
It was I felt like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the show You, where the guy like stalks women and everything.
Yeah.
That's how I felt, where I even like I even put up a tweet. I tweeted, I was like, yeah, it's weird or whatever when you find out who you're really debating with on Twitter with like a gif of him, and I was like, that's it, I'm done. So
yeah.
But the Rooney Rule stuff, I find an issue with the fact that the second any sort of minority gets brought into a visit or any sort of a head coaching interview, if these people on Twitter or in the media, if they view them as not real head coaching candidates, they almost lessen that, they demean the people by saying, oh no, this is just a Rooney Rule interview. There's no use for them. They're just doing this for that. How many times do we see teams have people come in for head coaching interviews and they get hired for other spots on the staff? How many times do we see people pop up in interviews that are Rooney Rule interviews, and all of a sudden they get hired somewhere else? It's a benefit to the people too, because their name is now thrown back in there. Now, I don't know if Byron Leftwich is going to go anywhere. I don't know if Pep Hamilton is going to go anywhere, but they still came in. The Patriots talked to them. So everybody who's like, oh, it was a sham process, that's what you're going to hear this week. Guys, it was a sham process. The Patriots had Vrabel the whole time. Guess what, guys? If you're going into a search for something or whatever, if you don't have a favorite or someone you kind of want, you don't even know what you want then. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I'm sitting there, like, but to boil it down to like a totally like minute comparison, when I'm sitting there trying to figure out what I want for dinner, I'll talk to my wife about it. Hey, what do you want? In my head, I have a favorite, something that I want. So probably no matter what she says, I'm probably going to say, hey, but let's actually get Chili's. But she might mention something. And then I'm like, holy shit, let's go. So it's kind of that type of thing. So the people that are sitting there, it's a sham process. Guess what? If the Patriots do well this year, no one's going to give a shit.
Yeah.
So that whole 100%. Thing was crazy.
And
you guys
they don't even have to do well. They just have to improve from last year. If they get 6 or 7 wins in 2025 and they show that they can play defense, that the offense is improving, nobody's going to say a word. No one's going to care, because they're going to say, okay, there's a direction here. That's the whole thing we're looking for. Yeah. That's the bare minimum. Just an upward direction. That's it.
Because people don't actually care, Al. That's the thing.
No
one's actually upset about this. Like the Rooney Rule in itself. Like, I get why it has to be there, because it is like, we're talking about the NFL. So there's a lot of old white ass owners who it's the old boys club. So they want this. So like, there's a reason it's there. Of course, teams take advantage of it. Actually, you don't even take advantage of it. You're just doing what they say. And if the Patriots are going to try to hire someone quick, you have to do it. So I get how the optics of it might look whatever, but like they had to do this. And the people like, oh, if this was a real search, they would have interviewed Brian Flores or Aaron Glenn. They put an interview in for him, or a request for him. Like you said, Al, he probably recognized it was a bullshit thing anyways. He had too much things on his plate, whatever. Brian Flores, they would have had to wait till next week. And who even knows if they'd be able to interview him next week? Because if the Vikings win, they still have to wait. And that wouldn't
Yes.
even satisfy the Rooney Rule because it has to be in person, you morons. So
Yes.
like,
And,
so
and
it's crazy.
right, and I'm gonna jump ahead here a little bit just
Yeah,
because
please do.
it relates to what you just said, Mike. Let's think about this. If the Patriots were patient, like everybody else said, and Mike Vrabel ended up going to the Jets or the Bears or the Raiders, because we know Brady really wanted Mike
Yep.
Vrabel in there with the report from Tom Pelissero that said Brady reached out and Vrabel's like, I'm going to the Patriots. Like that was the report.
I love it.
If you waited, and then again, let's say Vrabel goes to the Jets, Bears, whatever, right? And you're waiting for Ben Johnson, and Ben Johnson doesn't pick you. Then
Mhm.
you're caught. Then you're caught
Then
basically with your
you're,
pants down.
yeah,
Then
you're
then you're
fucked.
caught like like twiddling your thumbs because now you don't have any direction. Now you don't know who you're going to get. And by that point, other candidates like Liam Cohen, the OC from the Bucks,
Yep.
Brian Flores might be off the board. Aaron Glenn would be gone by then. So then who are you going to get?
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's the whole thing. And then there's a point about Ben Johnson I want to bring up but I want to
Yeah.
wait till
Yeah.
later when we talk about it.
Yeah.
But
I I think like it's a nice idea for the Rooney role,
Mhm.
but it's
It's flawed.
almost,
It's very flawed.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's almost like trying too hard where then it becomes
Mhm.
forced and it's not genuine. Like
Yep.
if you did something good for your wife and then wanted the instant gratification afterwards, like I did good, right? Like that kind of takes the purpose
Mhm.
of doing something good out of it because you're just clearly doing it for, being recognized after. I think it's a flawed system. I don't know a better one. I'm not here to suggest any
Yeah. I
enlightening
don't
new
know what
way
you
to
do.
do it,
Mhm.
but I don't know. Like I can't imagine it wasn't completely reasonable because I love Pep Hamilton as a coach. Like I think he
Yeah.
was huge in making Justin Herbert
Mhm.
awesome. He was great for the DC Defenders. He's been an awesome coach everywhere he goes. I actually very much like the
I,
guy.
I I remember now that he was in the XFL. I
Yeah.
remember that now.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
they crushed it. I think they went to the championship. They lost. Former Miami quarterback was their quarterback,
Of
De'Aaron King,
course you
and I love
remember
him
that.
dearly.
Of
Yeah,
course
of
you
course.
do.
I remember. I
And
watched
then
every
Byron
game.
Leftwich obviously coached Brady down
Yeah,
in Tampa, or
which like is
offensive
a
coordinator
bullshit
down there.
position because like if you're Brady's
Sure, but
offensive
still,
coordinator, you're there to go, good job, Brady. Yeah, we should do that. I agree, do that. Yeah, that probably wasn't a great idea. Like you're just there to agree with them. So I don't think
yeah, to an
there's
extent,
any
yeah.
prestige that comes with that position. If you're Peyton Manning or Tom Brady's offensive coordinator, you're fucking useless. Like you're not doing
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
But I do love Byron Leftwich. I loved him when he was a Jags
Hmm.
quarterback. I loved that 50-yard run for the Steelers that he broke his leg on at the end of that run. He's the fucking man. I think he's a stud, but it's just, his coach, he would be the most questionable one because I don't love his coaching credentials, but at least he's
Hmm.
got there. Like, at least he was the offense coordinator for a Super Bowl team. You can always say that. But I
Yeah.
don't think they were completely unreasonable interviews. I think there's, a lot of reason to interview them. But like you said, like the chum was in the water. We all knew it was going to be Mike Vrabel. Like when
Yeah.
it came out, people were hoping for Ben Johnson. And I think Kraft heard all the clamor for Ben Johnson, has heard the hype about the dude for
Hmm.
the last 2 years. So we put it in kind of obligatory because he's like, all the fans, everyone's going to want this. So I'll just put in
Yeah.
the request. But I'm making the decision and I'm picking my
Yeah.
former linebacker who caught 3 touchdowns at 3 different Super Bowls. Like, that's my guy. I don't care
He's
what
the
all you
guy.
want. He's
Yeah,
like, yeah,
but
I'll,
watch
I'll
though, you'll
appease the
see.
barbarian.
You'll see, and now we're going to talk about Ben Johnson in a second. I'll alley oop it to you, but you'll
Mhm.
see now because Vrabel is going to slowly start to be viewed as Kraft's handpicked guy, just like Mayo
Yeah.
was. You're
Oh, of
already seeing
course.
it. You saw it this week. It's now. It was all if Kraft doesn't pick Ben Johnson, he's stunting Drake May's growth and all this stuff. And it's like, guys, we all were fine with Vrabel like 3 weeks ago. But then the second you hear that Kraft wants Vrabel, now it's, well, now he's going to just ignore everybody else. Like, dude, who fucking cares? He's a professional. He's a head coach. He's had success. He's been to the playoffs. Drake May is going to be the best quarterback he's ever worked with. Like, and
Yeah.
now let's see who he's going to bring in. He has connections in the league too, so he can bring people in. Like, I'm fine. I'm happy he's here. But Ben Johnson was the other big name, offensive coordinator for the Lions. He did
For
do
good
the
reason.
virtual interview. He came in, what was it, Friday morning? That's when he did
Yeah,
his
Friday
interview.
morning. Yep.
Yeah, he did. Supposedly the interview went great, but why we're here now, the Patriots did pick Vrabel. So Al, Ben Johnson, you said you had a point you wanted to launch off with him.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about with him? There's a
Real,
lot to talk about with him, obviously.
there is. I just want to say this about Ben Johnson. I think if this was last year, so after Belichick leaves, and there was nothing about, this written clause in Mayo's contract or whatever, I think Ben Johnson would have been the Patriots head coach this year. I think he would have been their head coach going into this offseason. He'd be going into his second year. I really do. Ben Johnson was really careful last year about his head coaching interviews. He's doing the same thing this year. I even saw something that said that there's no guarantee that Johnson will take a head coaching job. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, look at the situation in Detroit right now. It's really good. And
Right.
you have a chance with that Lions team to go to the Super Bowl if all breaks right for you. And you just play the way that you play that you played all year. So,
Yep.
with that being said, I think this time the big thing for Kraft was I can't just automatically go with a rookie head coach. I need someone with experience. I need someone that's been there. And I think that was the one flaw against Ben Johnson having any chance of getting this Patriots job. But again, you know what? It's fine. Ben Johnson's going to be a great head coach, I think, somewhere else. And truthfully, just to have some fun with it, I think he's going to end up with the Bears. I think he's going to end up the Bears head coach, working with Caleb Williams and having a quarterback to work with. But it was fun while it lasted. But again, Mike Vrabel for now, short term, and I hope in the long term,
Yeah.
is and will be the right pick for the
See,
Patriots.
that is the take to have. Ben Johnson, the excitement, the potential. You see the Lions offense. Oh, that'd be good to have. Oh, we didn't get him. Okay, who'd we get? Vrabel. Okay, we have to stop acting like this is some consolation prize.
It's 1A and 1B. They were 1A and 1B.
That's the
in
thing.
the coaching hiring.
Yeah, and my thing with the whole process, like you wanted Kraft to hire all these people. He brought in the two top potential head coaching candidates in the league right now. But with Ben Johnson, what I want to ask you guys this because I saw a little bit of this chatter, but I want to know how you guys feel about it. Great offensive coordinator, elite offensive coordinator, even if you want to go over the top with it or whatever. How do we know that when he becomes the head coach and he has to assume all those duties as well and call plays and do all that? How do we know that he wouldn't stumble at that? Like, that's my thing with him. Like, we've seen Josh McDaniels, really good offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He sucks at coaching.
He's not a head coach, and there are coaches like that in the league. Good coordinators, bad head coaches.
Yeah,
Eric Bieniemy.
Who knows?
Yeah, Eric
Bieniemy. Everybody was saying, how is he not the next head coaching guy? He went for visits. Maybe there's a reason.
Then he went to the Skins. And no, he sucked. He was the head coach of the Skins.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. He was the offensive coordinator.
Oh, he was?
That's what he was. That's what he was. Yeah. Just because you're a good coordinator does not mean that you'd be a good head coach. And I get the enticement. I get the excitement where it's like, oh, he could call up all these plays for Drake May and the offense and all that. Guess what, guys? Vrabel isn't coaching the offense. He's going to bring someone in. We'll talk about maybe who it could be in a little bit. But Drake May is going to be fine with who gets brought in. I'm more concerned about the players that they're going to bring in. I know that like the coaching talk has been the talk. I want to know who the hell we're going to bring in for these coaches to have, because you could have the best coach out there. Unless they're Bill Belichick, they're not elevating the players. So like we got to see that. But yeah, the whole thing with him being a great offensive coordinator, you don't know if he's going to be a great head coach. People are acting like they know one way or another. You don't.
And also, that's a great point out. Like, why would he leave? If he does bad, Dan Campbell gets all the blame for going for it on fourth down. If he does well, he gets the same talk about him that's been going on for the last 2 years about how he's a god at offensive play calling.
Right. He can't lose.
Yeah, he's in the catbird seat. I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'm going to ride this out for 2-3 more years, and then I'll get a head coaching job and flame out with the Raiders.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's like, why would you leave? And just the fact that he came in and interviewed, that's awesome. Kraft did what he was supposed to do. He did the search. You're going to hear, like I said, everyone's going to call this a sham search. I don't care. Whatever. The Patriots got their guy. You have a professional head coach in the building, a culture builder. That's what everybody's talking about. You want to build culture. You want all this stuff. That's Mike Vrabel. I think he has just enough Belichick in him. But then I think he also has some new age ways of thinking as well. So,
right.
Yeah, I think I'm excited. Did you guys expect it to be announced so soon?
Yes.
or were you
Yeah,
guys
kind
kind
of.
of? I
Yeah.
thought
And
Monday was the day, so it was a day early for me.
We were
Liam,
hearing rumbles from Mike Vrabel an hour after Mayo was fired. Like
yeah.
it
Yeah,
was
that's true.
quick turnaround.
Instant,
And
instant.
Yeah,
Liam can attest to this because I put this in the fantasy football group chat.
I
I
can. I
said
never
that,
read that.
yeah, but if you go back, you'll see it was there because a lot of people favorited it. I said that the announcement, just
Big
that
man.
they signed him, like that he's going to be the head coach, would be Sunday at 11 a.m. and it happened at 10:30 a.m. So, so
Wow,
I
you
Yeah.
sneaky fuck.
so
Yep.
I knew because they were going to do it before the playoff game started. And think about this too. This is the little twist that I had on it. Adam Schefter, obviously, right, came
Hmm.
out and said the week before, around Sunday 11 a.m., that Mayo was trending toward being out as Patriots head coach. And Schefter has a good insight of the Patriots locker room and everything for a national reporter,
Oh yeah.
for a
Apparently.
non-Patriots, yeah, non-local reporter. So I was like, you know what? It's probably going to get done. They want to get it done quick because they want it to be over with. And again, they didn't want Vrabel to go elsewhere. They didn't want an
Hmm.
opportunity for the Jets to sneak in last second, for the
That would
Bears to sneak
suck.
in last second and say, here,
Yeah,
we'll give
that would
you
be
more
horrible.
money, everything else. And then you have to pray that Ben Johnson picks you. So,
Yeah. I would have
Yeah.
loved to have seen Mike Vrabel torture the shit out of Caleb Williams, though. When he has a quarterback that
true.
paints his
Oh,
fingernails, he would light Caleb Williams on fire at the
dude,
50
Caleb,
yard
Caleb
line.
Williams. I'm interested if Ben Johnson goes there, how that team's going to do because I don't know with Caleb Williams, man. Like I don't care I'm talking about just
I
him
think
on
he'd
the
be
field.
sick with Ben
He
Johnson. I think
holds the
he would be.
ball too long. I don't. He's got
He
a.
does.
Yeah, they got
But if he has
a.
somebody
They got a
teaching
long
him
way to
right, like
go.
the dude's got a cannon,
True.
he's super athletic, like he's
True.
got it. He's used
You
to
just got to
playing at
figure it out.
USC. Yeah, he plays college ball, and that's just not
Yeah.
realistic.
Yeah. But Mike Vrabel is here now. Offensive coordinator. There's one name floating around.
Well, I did want to mention Mike Vrabel's resume real quick,
Yeah, please
if
do
you
actually.
don't
Yes,
mind,
yes, yeah, 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 yeah.
because
Go ahead.
it has been a pretty
He's
spectacular
our head
run.
coach, man.
I was
List it
looking
all
this
off.
up a
Let's
little bit
go.
ago. It is fabulous. So I didn't even realize he was with the Titans for 6 years. That
Yeah.
seems like an awful long
Long
time. I
time.
thought it was four,
Ended
but
the Brady era.
yeah, he
Yep.
did. That's like an all-time
Yes,
Mike
he
Vrabel game
did.
right there. Yeah,
Yes,
that
he
one sucks.
did.
Fucking Logan Ryan's. So his first 2 years, 9-7. Second year going 9-7. They lose in the AFC Championship game by 11 points to the Chiefs, who ended up winning the goddamn Super Bowl, of course. But
Hmm.
overall, to go to the AFC Championship 9-7, that's pretty damn good. And like
Yep.
9-7 with the Patriots next year, we'd be thrilled. Year after that, third
Oh,
year as a head coach, 11-5, crushes it, lose in the second round. Year after that, 12-5 with the schedule boost. Year after
mhm.
that, 7-10. Year after that, 6-11. He's fired. So like overall, not 9-7 starts. Gladly take that, especially if you're a shitty Tennessee
Oh,
team and a
definitely.
shitty Patriots team. Will gladly take that.
Yeah.
Peaking at 11-5 and 12-5, damn good. Like that is super difficult to do.
Yeah.
And slumped toward the end there, but Ryan Tannehill fell apart, and
It
the
always
team
happens, though.
honestly
That
wasn't
always
that great.
happens.
Like talk about overachieving. I do not look back at
Mhm.
those Titans teams and go, "Yeah, like what a stacked team that was." Like I can't even think of their receivers or anyone who was good.
No, I mean they had
Yeah,
didn't they
Derrick
Derrick
have
Henry.
Henry.
like they had
That's
the
it.
corpse of Andre Johnson
Yeah,
for
not
like a
even that was
year?
before. Yeah,
Like
I
They had a
was
young
like
thinking
they had
AJ
of
no one.
Brown.
AJ
yeah,
Brown, but so that's a name people are saying. Did you guys see today? AJ
Corey
Brown was on the
Davis.
sideline reading a book during the Eagles
Yeah.
I
game.
did say that. It was like a
How about
self-help
them?
book.
How about them birds?
If you wanna trade him to good old Mike Vrabel,
I
I'd
don't think
take
you
him.
do. I don't
I'd
think you
take him.
do.
I would take him.
I think he's sticking around. How
But yeah,
about
no,
them
the
birds?
thing you're dealing with a coach who knows how to manage games too. That's the
Yeah.
thing with like Mayo. Granted, he was a new head coach, so he was always going to struggle a little bit. But it was just a couple years too early for him. Like you now have a coach who knows how to like just handle things. You might not like all the play calls, all the decisions. That's fine, but just overall, just managing a game.
Mhm.
You have someone who's done that for 6 years,
Yeah, and
and he succeeded.
by the way, the quarterbacks that Mike Vrabel has had, this is the list of quarterbacks
Mm.
he had in Tennessee.
Oh God, who?
2018, Marcus Mariota and Blaine Gabbert.
Whoa.
2019, Ryan Tannehill and Marcus Mariota. 2020, Ryan Tannehill. 2021, Ryan Tannehill. 2022, Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis, and Joshua Dobbs. 2023, Will Levis and Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, so Drake May is going to be the best quarterback Mike Vrabel has ever been around outside of Tom
Yeah.
Brady. Like
Right.
see, that's why I'm in like that's why I want him to hire an offensive coordinator who he can kind of just let them do their thing, so Vrabel can kind of focus a little bit more on defense, because
Which
that's
we
his bread and
desperately
butter.
need.
I'm hoping that's going to be it.
Has
Yeah,
Covington been fired yet?
not
Nope.
yet. No, no, no. Covington, AVP still have their jobs. As
I
does
thought
Elliott
AVP
Wolf.
got let go, no?
No,
That was a
that was
false
just one
report.
report. It was a rumor.
Oh.
Elliott Wolf, by the way, Patriots GM. There was a report or just some scuttlebutt from some reporters out there where he'd be willing to stay on the staff, technically get demoted, but really just go back to scouting because that's what
Who is
that's
this?
his job. Elliott Wolf, our GM right now, technically.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so it would be where Vrabel would bring in his own guy. Elliott Wolf would go back to being like director of scouting
And
personnel
Vrabel
or
already
whatever it
brought somebody over
is.
from the Giants.
He's
Yeah,
thinking about it.
for
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I forget the guy's name, but yeah. So things are moving quickly. So kind of before we talk about the offensive coordinator thing, real quick, who Vrabel might be bringing in. Final thoughts. I'm happy Vrabel's here. I'm happy they got it done. I'm happy that they did that they did bring in Ben Johnson too, just to talk to him. But
Yeah.
overall, this is a 2 thumbs up. Mike Vrabel, good. I think he's going to bring a good culture to the organization. Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm immediately like, I want next season, like I want free agency to start now. I want
Yeah.
to see who he can get, who he can grab. Overall thoughts for you guys, Mike Vrabel, new head coach of the Patriots for years to come, hopefully.
time to get to work.
Adore.
That's it. This is if Gerard Mayo was like Walmart brand Cheez-Its, Mike Vrabel is like Cheez-It brand Cheez-Its. That's how I see it. Where it's like Gerard Mayo was like an ex-Patriots linebacker. It like kind of goes down in history as one of the great, inside linebackers we
Won a
had.
Super Bowl.
Won a
Yeah.
Super Bowl. Didn't have like he was kind of injured towards the end of his career. Didn't have as much like name value, but people still knew him. But Mike Vrabel, everybody knows, catching touchdowns, making tackles, number 50. You know it. Like this is the guy. And I think it's good that when he was here during Tom Brady's whatever coronation, one of his 18 coronation things he had at halftime for one of the games where he was like, talking to the Patriots fans saying, you guys don't know how good you have it here. It's not like this everywhere else, blah, blah, blah. He loves New England. I'm happy he's here. He's the type of rough, scruff fucking guy we need. So yeah, I'm happy. Now offensive coordinator, rumors are he might be coming over here with Josh McDaniels. A couple other names are floating out. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know enough to know who any of these guys are in terms of like what their schemes and shit are, but I know Josh McDaniels. How would you guys feel if Josh McDaniels came over here?
What's funny is I actually called into 98.5 today to ask that question and talk about it.
Did you get
Yeah.
through?
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
through.
buddy. Good.
Yeah, I
for
got
you.
through.
Good for you.
Thank you. I'd be okay with it because again, we're talking about the offensive coordinator position. We're not talking about a head coaching position. Josh McDaniels has proven that he can be a good quality offensive coordinator. And by the way, just a little stat to back that up. The 2021 season, his last season in New England as offensive coordinator, Patriots were 6th in scoring in the league that year.
With Mac Jones.
With Mac Jones as their quarterback and not having like a true number one receiver. I guess you could say the number
Myers,
one.
right?
Yeah, I
Was
was
he
gonna
the
say
guy?
Jacoby Myers could probably
Yeah.
count, but
Yeah.
and you had a rookie Ramondre Stevenson, and I don't even remember who their other was. James White was there for 3 games before.
Damian Harris.
Oh, Damian Harris. Yeah, that's
Damian
true. I
Harris
forgot
was the
about
guy.
him.
Yeah.
Monster. 17
Oh yeah,
tugs.
monster fumbled at the 1 yard line in game 1 that
17
season.
tugs.
Anyways, but yeah, so I think if Josh McDaniels comes here, I don't think it's going to be this catastrophe that everyone else is saying it's going to be.
No,
because he knows how to work with quarterbacks. He knows how to run an NFL offense, and he's going to figure out pieces. If you get pieces, which by the way, I just looked at, the cap spaces for next year in the NFL. Patriots have 130 million in cap space. Number
we have
one
a lot
in the
of
league.
money.
You can go
Money
make
to
some
burn.
moves.
Money to
So
burn, money
if
to
they
burn.
if they make the right moves and they do what they need to do, then you can have just a I don't even want to say predictable because predictable is a competent NFL offense.
Dude,
That's all you
the
need.
fact that you have Drake May means you're going to have more than a competent offense because there were times this year where the Patriots had a competent offense minus their offensive line. Like Josh McDaniels, too. Of course, we all remember fucking 3rd down and 8, draws, handoffs, screens. Sure, every offensive coordinator is going to have some bullshit you don't like. But I would welcome that because, like I said when we were talking about Vrabel, this would be someone where Vrabel can say, "Hey, Josh, you got this. I got to deal with other shit. If you got, obviously, we'll talk, we'll go back and forth, but like, you're a professional offensive coordinator. Like, make shit work. Go have fun. You have
Yeah.
the players. Tell me, hey, do you want T. Higgins? No. Okay. Do you want Tet McMillan? You think he'd be a good addition? How about do you want to trade for DJ Moore? Do you want to try to get AJ Brown? Like, what do you want to do? I think McDaniel's offense, we remember it's creative too. He also seen guys like Edelman thrived in
Yeah.
McDaniel's offense. Do you know who we have who's kind of like Julian Edelman? Pop fucking Douglas.
Douglas.
Pop Douglas should eat. Antonio Gibson here for 2 more years. He should be the James White of this
Yep.
offense. Of course, he will. I'm sorry. He will never live up to James
No,
White, but he will
certainly
be
not.
James White light.
Yes.
Like that's how he should
Good
be.
rhyme.
And then Drake May, there was a clip of McDaniels on the Games with Names podcast with Julian Edelman, and he's talking about like design quarterback runs and stuff that Drake May should do and all that stuff. This offense, if McDaniels comes in, should be 10 times better than it was this season. Again, you got to add players. That's why I'm more intrigued with who they're going to add as opposed to coaching. But yeah, Liam, Josh McDaniels, how
So
would you
funny
feel?
to hear how quickly you guys dismiss that he used to be Screens McDaniels.
I
Third and
mentioned it
10,
real quick, just
screen. I
enough,
know. You glossed
just
over it,
enough.
though. I remember you and I
Yeah,
sitting on this
I
very
hated it
show, and Al may have been there either full time or plenty of
sometimes.
times as a guest. And we would just pound the desk and smash our heads off the
Fire him, get
keyboard
him out of here
because, yeah, we're like another fucking screen on 3rd and 10. What is going on? We'd run
yeah,
back to back screens.
all day.
4th and 30, screen. If it's third and long,
They'll
it's
never see
always
it
a
coming.
screen. No, never. And they'll never see it coming 2 plays in a row. It's
No.
unbelievable that you guys are able to easily gloss over that. But I'm not going to deny that, like,
Yeah, but overall,
yeah,
generally.
he's given us, he was a huge part of 3 Super Bowls. So the
Hmm.
dude fucking knows what he's doing. And
Yep.
again, offensive coordinator for Tom Brady doesn't mean a whole lot, but after Tom Brady was gone, that offense with Mac Jones was pretty cool. Like I very much
Mhm.
enjoyed it. Run heavy, play action, pass focus. Now we can do that exact same thing with, as you said, those design runs. I think it would be fun. And also, there's just a tender place in all New Englanders' heart for Josh McDaniels. Like, no
Mhm.
matter what, he's like that lovable uncle who gets drunk and says something racist at your holiday party. You're like, you're a little wrong sometimes, but I still love you, kind of thing.
Yep.
You
Yeah, it's
guys
like,
want to hear a fun fact that I think I've told you many times before, but I don't care. I'm going to say it again.
lay it
Yes.
on me.
Always.
My fiance taught Josh McDaniel's son at
Oh, really?
Yes, I remember you saying
Westwood
that.
High School. Yep.
No
Yep.
shit. He lived
Yep.
in
Yep.
Westwood.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not even that nice of a town.
Hey, see, look at that. Look at that. You got ties to Tuck Rule takes. He's got to come here. He's
Yeah.
got to come here. Yeah, I'd be happy. And honestly, I would more so than the head coaching search. Because like I told you guys, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend, and I don't think you guys are really either. We're not these football savants who will sit there and break down what offensive coordinators run, what scheme based on what looks from what coast and all that, how that would work with whatever. Listen, tell me who it is, tell me where he's been. I'm going to look up the production, look up the people he's had, all that stuff, and go from there. I'm open
Yes.
to pretty much anyone on offense for the offensive coordinator. But let me ask you guys this, because this is something that hasn't really been floated out there. Alex Van Pelt, would you be open to him staying on as offensive coordinator? By the way, not going to quarterbacks coach or anything. Just if Alex Van Pelt stayed, like let's just say we hopped on, boom, right now, breaking news: Alex Van Pelt staying on as offensive coordinator of the Patriots. How would you guys feel about that?
Be fine with it.
Right?
Yeah, be fine with it. That's you're not overly excited. You're not pounding the desk in anger and frustration. You're like, okay, it makes
Mhm.
sense. You understand.
Yep. Yeah. Because
I
there were
wouldn't be
flashes.
psyched, but like also I don't like the constant changing of surrounding cast for the rookie quarterback.
Mhm. Drake
So
May likes him too.
yeah, and fucking whatever the guy was doing with Drake May, it worked. Like Drake May came in and was automatically really good. So
Immediately.
it's very tough for me to say like if he's not going to be the offensive coordinator, I want him as the quarterback's coach. Like he's got to be here, he's got to be doing something, he's got to be near Drake May. I'd rather have somebody more dynamic, but
Mhm.
like our options don't seem super rich and plentiful. Like I'll take him or McDaniels, preferably McDaniels, but I like him in
Mhm.
house.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're all and I hope generally speaking, a lot of Patriots fans too, we're all a lot more open when it comes to offensive coordinator. Because I do think that you have Drake May and you saw um, you know, I don't think we need an offensive coordinator to come in and lift Drake May up. We just need someone to come in and who can kind of have a system that could just kind of be built around Drake May, you know? It's not one of those
Yes.
things where we need this genius to come in because like we have this quarterback who's like good, but he needs some help. Like, no, Drake May can fucking do whatever you need him to do. Like, just bring
Yes.
in a guy who can just call plays, and then can we please just fast forward to free agency so we can talk about actual players coming in here? I want to talk about, are the Patriots signing T. Higgins? Are they going to trade for Debo Samuel? Like what are they doing? That's what I want to see. But yeah, offensive coordinator, I think we're all open to whoever it needs to be. Josh McDaniels, though, maybe by the next time we record, he's here. Do you think that they do hire an offensive coordinator kind of along the same lines as they did with the head coach, how it was like a week and a half set, like so a pretty quick timeline? You think they kind of fill this up?
I think by midweek we'll know who the offensive coordinator is. I say by because my timing's been impeccable. I'm 1 for 1 with calling the
True.
Patriots coaches, just to say pretty much.
You're putting your
Um,
credibility on the line now.
yeah, but credibility's on the line. I'm going to say by Wednesday we know who the offensive coordinator is. That's my take.
And it
And then
should be. I
by
think I
and
think it
then
should be.
end of the week and then by the end of the week I think we'll know who our defensive coordinator is. So
See,
Wednesday
you
OC,
have the
Friday
guy.
DC.
You have Vrabel now. Now I want decisiveness. Now I
Right.
want cool. Everybody sit down in a room. Hey, Elliot Wolf, you can stay, but you're going to be this. If you don't want to stay, you're out of here. I'm going to bring this guy in from the Giants. I'm going to bring this guy in from whatever. McDaniels is coming in. I want him. Like, you don't need to wait. And like, I know people, you're probably going to see, well, I know it was kind of a sped up process for the head coach. I hope the Patriots take their time and hire an offensive coordinator. Stop. No, Vrabel needs to find who he wants. If Vrabel goes into this and not really knowing who he wants, I would question him. Like,
Yeah.
you would hope that in his kind of plan that he laid out for Robert Kraft during their meeting, he kind of said, hey, I'm thinking about bringing this guy in or this type of scheme or this type of offense or something like that. And the fact that Robert Kraft loves Drake May so much, you would think that he would bring in a head coach who would kind of feel the same way,
Yes.
like not someone who's going to totally disregard the offense. So, yeah, I would agree with you. I think and I hope that this week we kind of get to know everybody. Would you guys be open to DeMarcus Covington staying on staff
No.
as
I'd
a
prefer if he
DC?
didn't. I prefer
Okay.
if he didn't.
I would prefer if
Yeah.
he didn't. Yeah, and
Yes.
again, that I guess he took I forget what team he took a defensive
Bengals.
coordinator, the Bengals. Yeah, he went over there to took a bit and so I would assume he's gone. If he's taking visits elsewhere, I'm sure it was kind of one of those things where like, hey, we're gonna the head coach we bring in, he'll talk to you if you want you, you'll say whatever, but otherwise, blah, blah, blah. So he's probably gone. Alex Van Pelt's name has been eerily silent. So I don't know. Maybe he's staying. I don't know. I'd be cool if he kind of stayed on at some capacity in the staff, but who knows?
Do we think
But yeah,
DeMarcus Covington could end up going to Chapel Hill with Bill?
Imagine.
he could. He could. I don't see. So that's another thing. I think
Didn't
who
Bill
was it?
bring little
They
Bill
got
over?
someone. They got yeah, he brought Steve Belichick from wherever he was in college, and then he brought someone else from our staff or from the Patriots staff. I forget who it was. And yeah, I guess he could the report out there is that, expect some other names potentially to follow him to UNC. What I find funny about that is Belichick's thing was always, hey, if I fire you or if I let you go, don't poach the team that you just left from. And it's
Yeah,
kind of funny that he would be doing that,
it was the director of football development, Chris Matz.
Yes, that's what it was. That's what it was. So I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. Him and Kraft have a beef. So if he wants to take people, he would take people. A name I saw or I haven't seen mentioned, which I'm happy about, Jeremy Springer, special teams coach.
Yeah.
I kind of hope he's staying. Special teams was awesome this year, relatively speaking, like very solid thing. Like kickers miss kicks. That's not on the special teams coach.
No.
But yeah, I hope he stays. I think he's deserved to stay. I think if we're gonna if we were betting men, I would bet that Springer is the only coordinator that ends up staying.
What about the tight end coach? I'm just curious. Oh, you said coordinator. Sorry. You said
Who
coordinator.
I'd be fine with that too.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I thought the tight
is it
who was
Mike
it?
Pellegrino or something?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be fine with him staying too, because obviously, I mean, we saw the tight ends played well. So obviously they were being coached well enough.
Yes.
Wide receivers coach. Listen, man, I can't
Little
think of your
work
name
could be
right
done.
now, but if you could go now, another name that's there, another Patriot, Wes Welker got fired from the Dolphins. He's a wide receivers coach. You guys
He
think
might
there's
actually
any
come now because
possibility?
he fucking hates Bill Belichick, so he might come
Yeah,
now.
he might come just to do it. I wouldn't mind it. I don't think he was a bad coach. I think Miami is just floundering right now.
Yeah.
And
Well, he
they're
was pretty great
ultimately
last year when they were
they're
good.
they're ultimately going to have to fire Mike McDaniel, but they're going to have to like sack up and do that, because I think that his mysticism and his mystique over the league is done. Tyreek Hill wants out. He wants to leave.
Hilarious.
Everybody wants to go. Tua is one hit
Tua
away
was the
from
most
dying.
accurate quarterback in the league. It's
Yeah.
so strange.
Yeah, no, now he wants to go. So, yeah, I don't. It's going to be interesting because I think now that Vrabel's there, we can like move on. We can see who's
Yes.
going to be hired, what we have, what type of situation, what type of coaches we're going to be having. So yeah, I'm pumped. I am immediately excited for this. They did also announce the Patriots opponents for next year. I don't know. You guys want to get into that next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's. Yeah.
Or okay, we'll kind of tease that for next week. Yeah, because I mean, I do think the Patriots are going to go 16-1 next year. So it's just kind of a matter of where that fluke loss is going to be. Maybe the end of the season. Who knows? But yeah, guys, Mike Vrabel's the coach. I had nothing else I wanted to get to talking about it. Did you guys have any other points, talking things, comments, anything you guys want to get to about Vrabel or anything else before we leave for the week?
No.
No, I think we're good.
Hell yeah. Mike Vrabel, he's
God,
here.
so sweet.
Introductory press conference tomorrow, which is going to be Monday. So probably as you're listening to this, it is today. At like 11, I think. It wasn't noon. I think it was 11. Is that what it was? Which is
It's like it's going to start at
Weird.
11, and I think the official press conference is at noon.
will be a new. Yeah. So that'll be good. I can't wait. It's going to be interesting to see him talk to the media too, because there's a lot of clips going around now of him talking to someone, and they asked like, "How do you feel about the loss?" And I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, "It fucking sucks. Okay, losing fucking sucks. So no, I'm not happy." It's like that's what we need.
He gets so furious. Like he really is he's a former player. He's out there. He's as competitive
I love
as
it,
anyone.
man. I love it. You know what? He is our Dan Campbell. Let's go.
He
Like,
is.
I'm in.
Bite some
I'm in.
kneecaps.
Let's bite. I was just gonna fucking say, let's bite some kneecaps. Let's get going. Mike Vrabel, head coach. We can move forward now. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, we have some coordinator news we can talk about as well. And yeah, we will go from there. So for Al, Liam, I'm Mike. This is the Mike Vrabel episode. New era, new coach. I don't want to have any more of these new era episodes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Please
can we
don't
just,
hurt me
can we
again.
please? I don't want to be sitting here a year from now and being like, well, now they've hired Dante
Yeah.
Hightower as the head coach
Yeah,
of the
it's the Dante
Patriots. Like,
Hightower era.
enough. Just can we just start to fucking
At
win?
least for like 5 years. Like, give us just 5 years.
That's
you know?
it. We don't even need to win 5 Super Bowls. Just give us like 5 good years of football.
3
Then
Super
we'll
Bowls
talk
would
to
be
you.
fine.
3 would be fine. 3 appearances, 2
A
wins.
Super Bowl appearance would be fine.
I think, guys,
Scraping bottom
I'll
barrel.
fuck around and say they'll go there next year. So,
I know you
like
will.
I said, Al, Liam, episode 164. Mike Vrabel is the head coach.
Sports
Let's fucking
Butter.
go. Sports Spider, guys. God damn it, I fucked up. This was the first episode. God damn it. Yeah, go to Sports Spider. You'll see us on there now. Start the week off right. NFL tab, Patriots. You'll see us at the top. It's all good now. You'll see us every week on there. Yeah, take a look, take a listen. Also go to YouTube as well. You can watch us unless you're watching now. Then go to Sports Spider. But if you're on Sports Spider now, go to YouTube. So now we got like two things going on here. But yeah, we'll be here next week as well. Hopefully, to talk about some more coordinator stuff. And yeah, who knows? But guys, I'm just happy we got Mike Vrabel.
Oh, we did it.
We did it. All right. See you guys next week. We are